College Transition Podcast, and I'm Chase.
And I'm Elliot, and this is Addie. My first question for you is, what was it like applying for college? Was it easy for you?
Yeah, so honestly, I was a little bit late applying to other, more big-name colleges. So I decided to choose Athens Tech, and the process for that was actually extremely easy. I just had to go on the website, and it took me 30 minutes, and you don't have to have a SAT, ACT, or anything filled out, so it's a really easy process.
That's really good to hear. My guest, Addie, would like to ask you, what classes did you apply for?
Well, I applied for, first off, art history, which I actually originally didn't think it was going to be that fun of a class, but it really wound up being insanely interesting. Because you start all the way back at the start of human history, basically, with art, cave paintings made of mud and berries, and then you just progress all the way through the entire history of art. But I love that class. I also applied for sociology as well as math 1101, and I also applied for U.S. History 1. And that class has a great teacher, too. I highly recommend him. Mr. Fajman, he's a great guy. But honestly, those are the first one. I didn't want to take an extra fifth class just because I figured it'd be maybe a little bit overwhelming. But I don't know. I'm really happy with the load so far.
What are the main differences you notice from high school to college?
There's actually a lot of differences. So the main one I noticed is that teachers are a lot more over and on your back in high school. They want you to really get all of your assignments in on time, and they keep more of an eye on you. They're more strict about it. And then in college, the teachers will more so give you the material and give you the assignments, but it's really all on yourself as the individual to get the assignments in.
Are you enjoying the classes that you're taking?
Yeah, I would say absolutely, especially that art history class I really enjoyed, and then the history classes I've really enjoyed as well. Math, not as much, but hey, that's just me.
Would you recommend college to high schoolers on the fence about going?
Yeah, I would say absolutely, especially if you're on the fence about going and you're not really sure if you're ready to commit to a full-time job or career. I would say absolutely give it a shot. It's relatively cheap, super easy to apply, so you can't really go wrong with it, especially when you only have to get a 2-year degree and you could be making maybe twice the salary you would if you didn't.
Well, you hear it here, folks. How many classes did you apply for? Do you have a full schedule or 2 classes maybe?
I went for 4 because I had to take a minimum of 4 classes to get HOPE, which helps with a lot of the tuition. So I took 4 classes. Otherwise, I honestly maybe would have taken 3 and taken my time. But I figured 5, which would have been a completely full load, may have been a little bit overwhelming at first. But I've just stuck to 4 classes. But now I have to wait until next fall semester to start my electrician courses. So now I'm a little bit stuck over the summer.
What was the hardest thing for you when transitioning to college?
The hardest thing was, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, definitely the fact that you're so much more self-responsible for all of your work and assignments. No one is keeping track of that for you anymore. It's all really on you as the individual to make sure you're getting everything done. And then you're also, fully responsible to make sure you're always getting there on time. And I don't know, that's really the biggest transition for me.
I know we talked earlier about the main differences from high school to college, but I'd like to know the difference in workload.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference. I feel high school, you have a lot of little busy work week to week. And I don't know, I feel a lot of it's unnecessary. In college, you're more so getting big assessments that are due once a week. But I feel those assessments are actually more meaningful. It's things like essays or tests where it actually, you're actually getting something out of it. It's not just busy work.
My last question for you is, what would you say you miss about high school?
I would say I feel the classes were a lot more social in high school, and you can meet a lot more friends and things like that. Compared to college, the classes are a lot more silent. Not many people are asking questions or anything like that, but that's probably the biggest thing I miss. And also, there's a lot more fun classes. You can do things like pottery and stuff in PE and just have fun outside.